The journey begins at the very bottom of the ladder, in a place where performance is not a luxury, but a basic necessity for survival. These are the entry-level processors, the infantry of the Intel lineup, designed for the quietest corners of the digital world. They do not dream of rendering complex three-dimensional landscapes or solving the mysteries of the universe. Their purpose is much humbler, focusing on the simple act of keeping a user connected to the most basic functions of modern life. When you open a document or scroll through a newsfeed, these chips are working at the edge of their capabilities. They are the Celerons and the Pentiums of the world, names that have echoed through the halls of computing for decades. In the year 2024, and into the year 2025, these processors represent a commitment to efficiency over raw ambition. They are the ideal choice for a student writing a thesis in a quiet library, or a traveler who needs their battery to last across an ocean. There is a certain stoic beauty in their limitations, as they do not waste energy on heat or noise. They are the quiet workers that ensure a child can attend a remote class or an elderly person can see their family over a video call. Yet for those who crave more, these chips can feel like a cage, a reminder that speed is a commodity that must be purchased. They remind us that in the digital age, the ability to keep up with the world is the first tier of power. As we move upward, we reach the mainstream sweet spot, a territory where performance and common sense finally shake hands. This is the realm of the Core i5 and the Core i7, the engines that power the majority of the professional world. These processors are built for the individual who refuses to be slowed down by their tools but has no interest in paying for power they will never use. They represent a balance of forces where the heat generated is worth the productivity gained. In this tier, we find the digital architects, the office warriors, and the hobbyist gamers who value a smooth experience over a record-breaking benchmark. Imagine a graphic designer working on a high-resolution project in the year 2021. They need the machine to respond instantly to every brushstroke, yet they do not need a supercomputer to do it. This middle ground is where Intel has traditionally found its greatest success, refining the architecture to handle demanding workloads without breaking the bank. These chips are flexible, capable of shifting from a quiet morning of emails to an intense afternoon of video editing. They are the reliable companions of the middle class of the digital world, providing enough strength to be dangerous without the burden of excess. It is here that most users find their home, settled into a comfortable rhythm of reliable, predictable power. However, there is a point where the rhythm breaks, and the demand for power begins to exceed the boundaries of logic. This is the domain of multitasking madness, where users stack their digital burdens like a Jenga tower, daring the system to collapse. In this segment, we find the Core i9, a beast of a processor that views a single task as a waste of its potential. This is the choice for the modern content creator who is streaming high-definition video while simultaneously gaming and recording. For these users, time is the only currency that matters, and any second spent waiting for a render is a second lost forever. In the year 2023, the introduction of hybrid architectures allowed these chips to manage different types of tasks with surgical precision. They possess performance cores for the heavy lifting and efficiency cores to handle the background noise of a busy operating system. But this power comes at a cost, as these processors drink electricity and radiate heat like a small furnace. The user of such a chip must invest in elaborate cooling systems, turning their workspace into a laboratory of fans and liquid pipes. It is a world of sheer throughput, where the thrill of seeing every bar in Task Manager at full capacity provides a primal sense of satisfaction. Beyond the madness lies a territory that can only be described as overkill as a lifestyle. At the very top of the consumer stack, logic bows out and is replaced by a desire for absolute supremacy. These are the processors engineered for workloads that most people will never encounter in their entire lives. They are bought by individuals who want to ensure that no matter what software is released in the next 5 years, their machine will remain untouchable. It is a form of digital insurance, a way to purchase peace of mind through overwhelming force. Often, these chips spend their days performing the most ordinary tasks, like browsing social media or playing basic games. The true value of these titans lies not in what they do, but in what they represent to the owner. They are symbols of status, peak benchmarks, and emotional reassurance in an ever-changing technological landscape. In the year 2022, the race for the highest clock speeds reached a fever pitch, pushing the boundaries of what consumer silicon could endure. To own such a machine is to possess a weapon that you may never fully fire, but you find comfort in knowing the safety is off. It is a testament to human nature, our desire to own the horizon, even if we never intend to walk to the edge of it. But the winds are shifting, and brute force is no longer the only measure of intelligence. We are now witnessing the AI shift, a new direction where Intel focuses on specialization over raw strength. The processors of the new era, such as those in the Ultra series, are equipped with dedicated hardware to handle artificial intelligence. This means the CPU is no longer alone in its struggle. It has a partner that understands the patterns of modern software. Instead of working harder, the system is learning to work smarter, offloading the heavy lifting of image recognition and language processing to specialized cores. Consider the experience of a video call in the year 2025. In the past, blurring your background or canceling noise would drain your battery and slow your system. Now, the AI hardware handles these tasks invisibly, leaving the main processor free to focus on the conversation. This shift represents a move toward a more seamless, intuitive relationship between human and machine. It is no longer about how many cycles the clock can complete in a second, but how much the machine can anticipate your needs. This intelligence makes the system feel alive, a digital shadow that grows more capable with every passing update. In the shadows of the consumer market, there exists a different kind of power, one defined by obedience rather than speed. This is the Corporate Control Edition, the processors designed for the vast empires of the business world. On the surface, they look and perform like the chips found in a home computer, but their DNA is different. They are built with features like vPro, which allow an IT department to reach into the machine from 1,000 miles away. These chips are the dream of the middle manager and the nightmare of the privateer, as they offer no secrets and total manageability. In an office building in the year 2019, thousands of these processors worked in unison, silent, and compliant. They prioritize security above all else, creating a hardware-level fortress that protects the data of the corporation. While a gamer might want to push their chip to the limit, the corporate user wants their chip to be invisible and eternally stable. These processors are the reliable gears in the clockwork of global commerce, ensuring that the wheels of industry turn without a hitch. They represent the collective will of the organization, a world where the individual machine is less important than the integrity of the network. Even deeper in the architecture of our world are the silent specialists, processors that are built to endure, not to impress. These are the embedded systems, the tiny minds that live inside of kiosks, digital signs, and airport terminals. They do not have the luxury of a powerful cooling system or a massive power supply. Instead, they are designed to sip electricity and operate continuously for years without a single reboot. You will likely never see them, yet your modern life would collapse into chaos without their constant, steady pulse. Think of a self-service kiosk in a busy train station in the year 2018. That machine must stand in the heat and the cold, serving thousands of people without ever complaining. The processor inside is a master of endurance, focused on a single, repetitive task with absolute devotion. These are the ghosts in our infrastructure, the silent guardians of our convenience. They remind us that the most important technology is often the kind that we forget even exists. Their strength is not found in their speed, but in their unwavering reliability in the face of time itself. Finally, we arrive at the industrial titans, the hardware that supports the very foundations of civilization. These are the Xeon processors, the giants that live in massive climate-controlled data centers the size of city blocks. At this scale, the concerns of a desktop user become entirely irrelevant. These chips are built for parallel power, capable of handling thousands of simultaneous streams of data without breaking a sweat. They power the servers that host the internet, the studios that render Hollywood blockbusters, and the laboratories that simulate the birth of stars. In the year 2020, as the world moved online, these titans were the ones that held the fabric of society together. They do not care about the cost of electricity or the price of a motherboard. They care only about uptime and data integrity. They are the engines of the cloud, a vast, invisible brain that processes the collective information of humanity. When you search for a phrase or save a photo, a titan somewhere in a cold room in the Arctic or the desert is doing the work for you. They represent the ultimate expression of human engineering, a scale of power that borders on the divine. As we look back across the landscape of these 8 segments, we see that the choice of a processor is more than a technical specification. It is a reflection of intent, a decision to align oneself with a specific purpose in the digital ecosystem. From the survival machines that provide the basics to the industrial titans that power the world, every tier has a story to tell. We must learn to choose based on what we actually do, rather than what looks impressive in a list of statistics. The true power of a machine is not found in its peak performance, but in how well it serves the human who sits before it. Reflecting on this hierarchy, I have realized that we often chase the highest numbers because we are afraid of being left behind. We buy the overkill processors because we want to feel prepared for a future that hasn't arrived yet. But the wisdom lies in knowing exactly how much power you need to achieve your goals and no more. A machine that is too powerful is a waste of resources, while a machine that is too weak is a source of constant frustration. Balance is the ultimate goal, a harmony between our ambitions and the silicon that brings them to life. I encourage you to look at your own devices today and ask yourself if they truly match your needs. Are you using a titan to do the work of a student, or are you asking a survivor to carry the weight of an empire? Understanding your place in this silicon hierarchy allows you to take control of your digital life, making choices that are based on reality rather than marketing. As you navigate this complex world of technology, remember that the most important part of the system is the mind that uses it. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive today. Wishing you all the very best of health and happiness. And if you found this journey as fascinating as I did, please consider hitting that subscribe button and ringing the bell so you don't miss our next adventure into the heart of technology.